Xolani, a very good morning to you. So it seems the saga of Zandile Gumede has the ANC in a little bit of a twist. And let's start with, just who she is, what we know about her, and is she proving to be a little bit of a problem child for the ANC at the moment?
Morning to the viewers as well as to you. I think Mam Gumede, she is an embodiment of the incumbent ANC leadership. And so her being an embodiment of the current ANC leadership, I think it will be very difficult for the ANC to deal with her because to a certain extent, she is the shadow of the ANC, and so it's very difficult to deal with your own shadow.
Well, we know that she was one of those who was quite a staunch supporter of former President Jacob Zuma. She's regarded as a heavyweight, especially in politics in KwaZulu-Natal. And is it a matter of them having to tread carefully around the likes of Zandile Gumede in dealing with her?
I think the issue of factions in the ANC, there is kind of reconfiguration there. But that reconfiguration, it has nothing to do with Jacob Zuma or with Cyril Ramaphosa anymore. But I think it's about the resources in that particular municipality. But now they find a refugee home to use the names of Cyril Ramaphosa or Jacob Zuma as kind of a scarecrow to say we are being victimized because we are viewed as people who are supporting this particular faction. But I can assure you, this has nothing to do with faction, but these are just personal kind of an ill act from the so-called the leaders of the ANC in that particular region.
Okay, so if I'm to understand you correctly then, Xolani, it sounds to me like you kind of feel that is she being unfairly treated then by the ANC?
I don't think so. I don't think that she's being unfairly treated because currently as we speak, we have a city manager by name of Sipho Nzuza who decided to become a state witness, meaning that he opted for Section 204. When you opt for Section 204, it means that you have a full information of the rot that is happening in that particular institution. And so for Sipho Nzuza to save his own skin, he decided to move out of this ring of wolves and say, I will say everything that I've witnessed that is not supposed to be happening in this particular municipality. And so for the mere fact that Sipho Nzuza opted for Section 204, it means that that municipality is kind of an incubation of thieves.
What would need to happen here, or what needs to happen in the case of Zandile Gumede? It seems like we are expecting, yes, a further extension of the suspension. Would it just make sense for the ANC now to wait for the court process, for that entire process to be dealt with before it decides internally what to do with her? Because my understanding is there's a task team that is working on this. It's been appointed by the Provincial Working Committee. They are going ahead with their own process and their own investigation into these criminal charges against her. What would be the best way to resolve this?
I think it really speaks to the kind of the fault that are there in our electoral system. Because I don't think that this ANC leadership, that one views them as tainted, can really save that particular municipality. And also on the other side, as I've said, it speaks volume of our electoral system because the citizens of eThekwini, currently they are just docile. They don't know what is happening. And on the other side as well, they don't have means to recall or to be part of this debate to say, look, we are the ratepayers. We are the people at the end of the day who are voting for you guys. And when you do these things, we need to be consulted. And so, as you can see, that the ANC can decide to call, to recall, or to extend Zandile's stay or his mayorship in that particular municipality. And so I think South Africans really, we need to start to interrogate the issue of our electoral system, because to a certain extent is very disempowering to the South African citizen. As I've said, this eThekwini citizens are just docile spectators. They are looking at this spectacle without really being involved. But at the end of the day, the people who are maintaining, who make that municipality to function in terms of rates and other means, are the South African citizens.
Okay, and then just to change tack a little bit yet, Bongani, I just want to ask you very quickly about what's currently happening with the Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan and the Public Protector, and the feeling now that he's on the warpath, and she's sticking to her guns as to her findings about the so-called rogue unit. So, what do you really think is at play here? Because she refuses to let this issue go, despite what we've seen happen, despite the people who were behind initial reports about this even saying, okay, maybe the report around this was wrong. What do you really think is happening here in the story?
Look, I think Pravin is part of the ANC. And the ANC in our country, we've seen it dismantling the state institutions that are supposed to protect the South African citizens. Jacob Zuma did the same thing with Thuli Madonsela. And now it's so sad that the South Africans have seen him as the beacon, or someone who's the shining star, someone who can restore the morality and the ethics of this new dawn, someone who can make us dream, the practical dream. But now he's the one who starts to challenge the state institution, instead of him to say, look, I am very clean, I am not tainted. Come on, bring whatever that you have. I'll prove that I am innocent. And so for him to challenge this particular institution really is planting doubt to the minds of the South Africans. And we are starting to ask ourselves, really in that leadership of the ANC, as particular in the New Dawn, who can save South Africa if everyone is starting to challenge the institution that they are supposed to protect?
Okay, thanks very much for that insight. And that's political analyst Bongani Dube.